In the vast tapestry of Scripture, there's a remarkably powerful verse that's also the shortest in the Bible. Jesus wept. Just two simple words that reveal something incredibly profound about the nature of God himself. You know, I've always been struck by this moment. Here's Jesus standing outside the tomb of his friend Lazarus, surrounded by mourners. He knows what's about to happen, that he's going to raise Lazarus from the dead, yet still he weeps. Think about that for a moment. The Son of God, who holds power over death itself, chooses to share in our human grief. He doesn't stand there stoically maintaining some divine distance. Instead, he allows himself to be moved by the pain of Mary and Martha, Lazarus' sisters, and everyone else present. This tells us something beautiful about God's heart. When we hurt, he hurts. When we grieve, he grieves. It's not just sympathy, it's true empathy. The Creator of the universe doesn't just observe our pain from afar, he enters into it with us. I remember sitting in a hospital waiting room years ago, feeling completely alone while waiting for news about a loved one. This verse came to mind then, and it changed everything for me. The thought that Jesus himself understands grief so intimately, it's incredibly comforting. But there's even more to this story. Jesus' tears weren't just about Lazarus. They were tears for all of humanity, for the brokenness that death brings to our world. He wept because this wasn't how it was supposed to be. This wasn't his original design for his beloved creation. And you know what's amazing? Even today, 2,000 years later, Jesus still weeps with us. When you're sitting alone in your room dealing with loss or heartbreak, he's there. When you feel like no one understands your pain, he does. The God of the universe chooses to be present in our suffering. This simple moment, Jesus weeping, bridges the gap between divine and human, between heaven and earth. It shows us that our God isn't distant or detached. He's intimately involved in our lives, sharing our sorrows, understanding our pain, and ultimately working to make all things new. So next time you're facing grief or hardship, remember you're not alone. The same Jesus who wept at Lazarus' tomb weeps with you. And just as that story didn't end with tears but with resurrection and joy, your story isn't over either. Because we serve a God who doesn't just observe our pain, he enters into it, transforms it, and brings hope out of despair.